Hi, and welcome to the Pints and Pipes podcast.
Strap in for some more nonsense.
BOSH.
BOSH.
Brother Jennings.
Brother Harris.
Another one.
Another.
Mental.
Another one on to number 2.
Mental.
How are we?
I'm alright.
You recovered now?
Still recovering.
Still
recovering. But getting there.
Good.
Getting there.
You look a lot better.
Thanks.
Yeah, you always look good, but
That's cute.
you're looking more you.
It's nice to be nice.
It is nice to be nice.
It is nice to
as
be
we
nice.
talked about in the pilot.
We have talked about it. It's nice to be nice.
So, what do we know?
What do we know? Another, more stuff to chat about. Because I actually discussed before we started that we've actually been voice noting each other a bit less. A, because I was ill.
I got quite upset.
And also because now we're a bit more worried about talking about stuff because we might want to save it for the podcast. So
This could be the end of the voice messages.
So the voice notes that have started off the podcast could be coming to an end because we don't want to discuss stuff and not keep it for the podcast. So it's affected the friendship, brotherhood straight away.
Nah, it hasn't.
I'm only joking.
It hasn't.
I'm only joking. We're still here.
We are at that age where we should maybe do a
That was very in tune. I like that a lot.
God, I bet people are going, why am I listening to this?
What has come to my life that I'm listening to these two guys talk utter rubbish and they're now just making sounds.
Or they're sitting in their car in traffic with it on Spotify in the morning going, this is the highlight of my week.
I doubt that's so hard.
You'd have to have a pretty bad life going on, wouldn't you?
If this is the highlight. Fucking hell. Fucking hell.
How bad is your life? Well, I'm listening to the Pints and Pipes podcast. Oh, you listen to that, do you? God, you really are bad.
Yeah, you need therapy.
I think we'll put you on suicide watch.
Are you doing a cough count this episode, or are you not?
Do we?
Or is it a one-time thing?
I don't know. I reckon we do, because what I'm looking for is last time you were on
Consistency.
4. No, I'm looking, as a doctor...
As a doctor.
Can't everyone call herself a doctor now?
Gynecologist.
Oh, amateur. I have been an amateur gynecologist.
I can imagine you were. Are you semi-retired now? Or?
I hope my mum's not listening to this. Yeah, I'm in retirement now. But
my mum doesn't know how to get Spotify, so I am in the safety zone.
I'm going to send her an email.
No, you're not.
With a link.
No. She still won't know what to do.
This is your boy. This potty-mouthed.
Wow. As if you throw me under that bus.
I wouldn't throw you under the bus.
Mean.
So, I digress. I'm not an amateur gynecologist anymore.
Were.
You were on 4. Your tally was 4.
Yeah.
So, are we counting that one?
What one? That one just then?
Yeah, that little one.
That was a little one.
That was a 1. So you've got to beat 4, so you've got to bring it down. So that's how we're going to progress.
Oh, we'll know.
We'll know whether you're getting better. If you go past 4 and you go
Yeah.
into 5 and 6, then we're going to have to ring an ambulance.
Straight away.
Yeah.
Straight away. Really bad.
And possibly, speak to the GP.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Do you know any?
Well, actually, we'll speak to the receptionist.
Yeah.
Because
and they will absolutely give me all the deets that I need
Yeah.
because the GP won't have time for me.
They will say, I mean, there might be a GP listening to this who shall remain nameless at the moment, who I know.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know you knew a GP.
She's
I do know you know a GP. I've met that person.
You've met the GP.
Yeah.
She's lovely, isn't she?
Yes.
She is lovely. She'll
Yeah,
be listening
very
to
nice.
this, hopefully.
Yeah.
I'm going to get her on the podcast one day.
Yeah, I want a live prostate exam on you. That'd be mint.
I'll do it. But I mean, we aren't that age, aren't we, where we should be getting finger blasted?
I'm happily going to sit here and watch you get finger blasted.
Jeez, have we stooped this low already?
Well, we started on penis jokes literally 30 seconds into the pilot.
Yeah. Actually, I mean, on a serious note, that's something we should get checked, isn't it? All men listening to
On
this.
a serious note, yeah,
You really
we should be getting checked out. But
we're at that age, innit? When do we have to poo in a tub and cut the middle out? Is that 50?
What?
You have to cut the middle out of a poo, don't you?
I have no idea what you're on
Yeah,
about.
this is grim. So, I don't know. My dad told me this. I think it's at a certain age you have to defecate. Is that the word?
Defecate, yeah. I don't know about this cutting the middle out. What, you're getting like
Well,
a
the
little...
middle, I don't know. This is why we need a GP.
This is definitely why we need a GP.
If you're listening to this, the GP who we know,
Yeah.
Tell us.
Come and be a guest.
What's
Come
this
and be-
chopping out the middle of your poo all about?
Email us to answer, is this a real thing, chopping the middle out your poo?
It is. So apparently it's the middle bits where they do the test, whatever they do, to check.
But what if you do the phantom?
You've got to catch it. It's got to go in a tub.
The phantom, though?
Imagine you were stooped over a tub and you just dropped one out and it just went straight out the tub and vanished into the house.
The phantom. The phantom. Like, you know, I know it's a bit crass to talk about such things, but the phantom is a real thing.
Yeah,
the phantom's a real thing, and it does make you question whether you've actually been to the toilet or not.
I'm going to get the GP on here.
And I'm
going to get to talk about men's health. We're going to talk about mental health.
Yeah, we are going to talk about men's mental health and men's health. I think you know, as much as we are messing around, I think it would be a worthwhile exercise. I mean, I'm not sure how worthwhile an exercise you having a live prostate exam while I'm
Carl
interviewing
Pilkington
you.
did it, didn't he? Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
that was horrific.
It was. That's why I'm not sure it'll be very good for Spotify.
If you've just tuned in,
I can see it.
If you've just tuned in, just go and put your top 24 hits on or something.
Yeah, go put some else on. This is descending into anarchy real quickly. Like this isn't like that wasn't the plan. This isn't the plan.
No, this wasn't even on my notes.
Notes?
Yeah.
I ain't got no notes. I'm just looking at your ugly mush.
I've got, well, I know, yeah, but that's probably what you're thinking about prostates.
That's probably it, isn't it?
Arseholes.
Yeah, thinking of arseholes.
Look at his face, instantly thinks about arseholes.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, on a serious note, I'll find out what it is. We'll get the GP on.
I need to know about cutting the middle out of the poo.
Yeah.
I need
It's
to
a
know.
thing.
I can't believe you right now.
It's a thing.
So
Right, if there's any of you out there, of you senior gentlemen who might listen to this, if you want to drop us a message on the old Instagram or Facebook, we're on both now, actually. So if
we're on Facebook now.
Yeah. So that's for the old people Facebook. Insta's where the cool kids go,
Yeah.
and TikTok, but I don't know.
We ain't got one of them yet.
Yeah, well, no, we ain't got a TikTok. We don't know if we're going to bother, are we?
No, you know, I can't make out if Donald Trump's going to cancel it or not, because obviously we're going to go big in America.
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Well, we already are. We have got a listener in America.
We have.
We have. She's in Ohio. Hi in Ohio.
Hi, Ohio.
So we'll get the GP on, and we'll ask her some questions, and I'll find out about the chopping out the middle of the poo. So if you're listening, GP, as I know you will be, and you better be, don't wince. Don't go, oh my God. We just got some serious questions about chopping poo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Asked by two absolute Neanderthals.
Cavemen, bearded.
I'm still having images.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit in a Tupperware tub, chop out the middle.
No, my images of you getting finger blasted live on the podcast, I'll be honest.
You need to get that out of your head.
I need to. I feel ill.
It's disturbing.
I feel ill already. I feel ill.
There's a lot of people now, probably, if they're eating this, having their breakfast, have probably just lost 2 pounds. Because they're living off black coffee.
Or they've just turned it off. They've just turned it right off. Like, we are losing listeners. We're going to watch the Spotify count go down.
Or going up.
Potentially.
Everyone likes a poo conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. People won't admit it. No. We're just saying the things that people are thinking.
Yeah, and we can.
Because we've got a podcast.
Because we've got a podcast.
Yeah.
This is the worst avenue to give us, wasn't it?
Yeah, giving us a way to get it out there for the world to listen to.
2 goons with a podcast talking about poo.
Poo. Episode 2, 3, whatever this is.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're going to name the episodes, not number them, we've decided.
Yeah.
So, quite an obvious name for this one already, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. The prostate.
The prostate.
No, the poo.
The poo.
Poo.
We'll
need
talk
the poo.
about it, yeah.
We need the poo.
Email us. Oh, no, there's no point with it because it would have gone out by then.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
That's stupid. That's your ADHD brain going.
Do you know, I'll tell you a funny story actually about things that for years happened. I used to joke to my mother that if she got dementia or started being old, officially old, that I'd put her in a home.
I've had that same conversation with my mother.
Like the Peter Kay thing where he just gets his mother and puts her in a nurse home because he wants to put a pool table in the front garden. And Tash scares the kids.
Yeah.
So I had a conversation with my mother about this years ago, saying, if you get like that, I'm going to stick you in a home. And she was like, you can't do that because I've wrote it in my will. And I was like, damn. And then I thought after, hold on a minute, she'll be dead. So
that didn't even register with me then. That didn't even register.
I know, and then it did register with me until one day I was thinking, oh yeah, so actually there's nothing she could do about it. So I'm not going to put you in a home, Mum. Of course I'm not.
Of course I am.
Of course I am.
Of course I am.
She won't know anyway.
No.
Well, this has got dark real quick.
Real quick, hadn't it? Like, none of this was the plan. None of this was...
and this is what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just going off the cuff.
Off the cuff and talk about things that make us giggle in the week.
I think we should discuss the Sieve.
Do we have to?
I think we need to get it out of the way.
Makes me nervous. In fact, talking about it gives me the shivers.
So, as we discussed, I've got two pubs. One's
have.
called The Boiler. We've named it The Boiler because obviously because of the fear of side-eye and retribution and her not knowing where we're going with the podcast.
Yeah.
And based on what we've just discussed for the last 10 minutes,
Yeah.
she doesn't want these pubs getting named. If you know, you know. If you don't, you're not going to find out for a bit yet. I can guarantee you that.
I assure you.
Yeah, 100%. Because the murder, death, kill rate that side-eye will bring to me for what's just been discussed, if I name the pubs, badness. So much badness.
Yeah.
As we said, literally shit. As we said last time, the eye of Sauron is upon me. I could feel it coming over the hill at me. Like, literally, the side eye cutting through the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's lovely, really. They were just
she is. I love her to bits. She
Yeah.
knows I does. But, like, there are rules, and
Yeah.
I must adhere.
Do not cross that boundary.
Yeah, bingo. So we've got the Sieve is the other one. So we've got the Boiler. As I explained, the Boiler is because Brother Jennings here, being plumber, heating
Lives
engineer, legend, lives there fixing the boiler constantly. Whereas the Sieve, which is part of the reason why we're as good friends as we are, one particular funny story and why it's called the Sieve. So I took on the Sieve with my wife. My wife. She is my wife. Side eye. About 18 months or so ago, it needed a big overhaul. It was in a bit of disrepair. She was a bit tired. We found a lot of problems when we got into the building. The whole building needed rewiring from I didn't realise how expensive sparkies are. That was...
You say plumbers are dear.
That was brand new information to me. Jesus Christ, I almost cried when I got that invoice. Rewired the whole building, like even down to lights not being earthed and stuff like that. And then I got my good friend here, Brother Jennings, in to look at the plumbing situation. There were various things you found. I can't remember. Something to do with the drains.
Yeah. So there was all smells coming up, wasn't there?
Yeah.
There was no traps on
there. There was no traps on the drains. I remember the fan above the shower went up into the loft, but not actually out the loft space, amongst other things. And there was just plumbing issues everywhere. And then one of them was little old me. Was that I wanted to move the pot wash area into a different room. Pot wash for a kitchen is where we wash up all our plates and stuff like that. And there was no running water into the room where I wanted to move the pot wash. First problem.
I wish there was.
So then I asked Brother Jennings if he could sort that for me, and of course I can.
Of course I can.
So he did, and he ran some water, hot and cold water, from the room which is now the kitchen, into the little room that's off that's down the pot wash, ran some copper pipes through the wall, and that was that. Life is good.
Life is
good at that point.
Everything's functioning.
Hard but good. Everything's working but busy.
There was quite a timeline in this as well, in the fact that we were really short on time.
Yeah. We were rushing to get open.
There was a deadline to get open. There was trades everywhere, wasn't there? There was chippies there,
pandemonium,
roofers, and to be honest, we all seemed to congregate on that day in the kitchen.
Yeah, there was also the chippy was Sarah's
Side eyes.
Side eye's father, who took great pleasure in organising many cups of tea and coffee for the trades. So
I think what you actually alluded to is that the chippy had made what it was a sort of Salvation Army for trades.
Yes.
And he was the leader.
The ringleader.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that whenever me and Sarah turned up thinking there'd be a lot of work going on, everyone would be sat out, because it was the summer, everyone sat out in the backyard on the benches having a brew with Side-Eye's father holding court And Side-Eye would lose her mind time after time. So as much as time was precious, everyone was also slightly distracted from time to time. But this very particular day that you did do the pipe, everyone was working in the kitchen.
Chaos,
the Sparkies were in there. We had the roofer guy. He was doing the back door, I remember, because that needed replacing. The chippy was doing the new backyard shed.
Painter was there.
The painter was there. It was pandemonium.
Yeah.
But obviously you got it done. We got open.
Yeah.
Life is good.
Yeah. This is a lesson in do it right, do it once, isn't it?
Yes,
This was
so.
this was my mistake. I'll put my hands up. But it has a
bear in mind, this story is not being told to Brother Jennings off for his skill level in any way, shape, or form. It's just the way it played out was so funny.
Yeah.
So then we skip forward probably 6 months, get to just beginning of December last year, not this year, just gone. Beginning of December, I remember it was first week December, and water starts appearing on the floor and pooling on this wall at the base of this wall, and you stand on the floor and it gets a bit worse, and I'm like, what the hell is this?
It looked as like it was coming up through the middle of the floor.
It did, in your defence. And so then it keeps getting worse. So in the end I call him and it's out of hours, and obviously calling a mate's trick in and saying, can you come down and have a look? I'll give you a pint. We'll have a pint. Just come and have a look. I can't cope with this water. It's flooding my kitchen. So he comes down, has a look at it, and we're both stepping on this bit of flooring because it's like Ultratex flooring as well, and it's coming up through it. And I look at Brother Jennings, and I'm like, is this the pipes in the wall? At which point he got quite animated to say, it's not my fucking work. I think
the words were, how can it be my pipes going through the wall when it's coming out through the fucking floor?
Yeah,
I think was the words I used.
Yes, and it's not my work was definitely a line. It's not my fucking work. Looking at me is, how dare I? So you wanted to dig up the floor.
So my initial thought was, right, I'll take it from here. My initial thought was this water's coming up through the floor. They're opening for service in, was it 45 minutes?
45 minutes, yeah.
And full house, completely full pub. So Mark's brother Harris is like,
keep letting it slip.
We let it slip. Everybody knows our names. We need to open the pub soon, but I'm worried about the lads slipping as a duty of care, and we can't not have water. So what can we do? And I'm like, look, if it's coming up through the floor, it can only be the water main. It's got to be coming up through the floor. And he's like, but we've never had this problem. I was like, okay.
And I was like, I am not digging up the floor on Friday night in December now. Yeah. Can we please check the pipes in the wall?
And I was like, right, okay, fine.
Quite sassy.
Yeah, I was sassy.
You were quite sassy.
You dragged me out of the house. I was sassy.
You were full sass. Quite salty.
Yeah.
And I was like, before we dig up the floor, let's just check the pipes. Please, can we check the pipes?
Yeah.
So which we then pull out the pot wash machine. He gets his tools, comes in, bends down, which was, let me tell you, that's a view.
Yeah.
I'm stood behind him, surveying the view.
Yeah.
He cuts a hole in the wall, and then all of a sudden, quiet. And then, shit.
Have you got that? I'll put it into context just to touch on that. So from my point of view, so a different camera angle.
Yeah. It's always good to get context on these things.
I'm knee deep in water. I mean, because it was getting quite bad.
Yeah.
So my legs are now wet. I'm kneeling down on the floor. I've got a head torch on. I've just cut a hole in the wall, and I'm now staring at the leak. At which point, I've gone quiet, deadly silent, and Mark's gone, is it leaking? I'm like, yeah, just fuck off here. Just leave me for half an hour. So, just for the viewers
cough there, that's second cough.
Second cough. So, yeah, 1, 2. Just for the viewers out there, the reason it leaked, and it is entirely my fault.
It was mental, though.
It was mental. Pipes going through walls just to bore everybody, so you can all...
Pints of pipes. Pipes. This is the pipes bit, guys. Strap in.
We're going to do it.
Strap in for the pipes.
Lime that you find in old buildings, because it's an old stone building, isn't it, the pub?
Mm-hmm.
Lime is very, very corrosive to copper, and it will put holes in copper pipe quite quickly, as we've established. So anyway, I put it through the wall, not realising it was full of lime, old stone lime.
Yeah,
should have done, but didn't. And so, of course, what did it do? It just ate at the pipe within 6 months and burnt a perfect circle in this pipe.
It was mental.
It was insane.
Mental.
But what was funny, so did the repair, they opened at 6, and at, was it 5:59, I literally turned the water back on and got escorted out of the building.
No, we had a pint.
We did have a pint.
Because you were quite angry, because you're quite the perfectionist, which you are.
Oh, yeah.
Quite the perfectionist, and you were very annoyed that that had happened.
And I was embarrassed.
So we had a pint together.
Yeah.
It was all right.
Although we had a pint together, but I think I remember you shouting at me. Was it Checker Trade?
I did. Quite a lot.
Are you on Checker Trade?
Are you on Checker
Jennings?
Trade? Why didn't I check you out on Checker Trade? And you said, I'm not on Checker Trade. I went, well, that fucking explains it, doesn't it? And since then, we've hit it off like a house on fire. But and the irony is that you've actually been back to fix that again.
It did it again.
I was on holiday.
So
I was on my honeymoon.
Oh my God. Mark was on his honeymoon, and this time I'd wrapped the pipes up. I thought, no way this is happening again. I cannot have this humiliation again. To which one of Mark's relatives runs the other pub when he's not there and gets a phone call. Oi, plumber. Yeah? He's doing it again. Yeah, kiss my arse. No, it is, look. To which I get some WhatsApp pictures. And I went, it can't be my pipes. They're wrapped. So, guess who missed a tiny millimetre little bit of wrapping us up at the pipes in?
Chances.
Like 1 in a million.
Chances.
So, 2 lads who work for you were standing there, and one of you...
Being very sympathetic, weren't they?
No.
No? Oh.
And do you know what? Quite rightly so.
Okay, you did on the same thing.
Yeah, I'd have just annihilated him. So, so I had to do it twice. Oh, free of charge. Didn't charge, obviously, so this is all on me.
And then that pipe is still strapped to another pipe in the kitchen. You wrote something on it. I can't remember what you wrote.
I wrote...
Is it cushion?
No, it isn't. So, because it had happened to me twice, and come on, it's been a bit of a standing joke.
So we now call the building the Sieve.
The Sieve, because it does have lots of leaks and weird faults.
Yeah, all over the places. That's just like on a long list.
I will just say, for the sake of my business, those are nothing to do with me other than this one, which I confess in my sins to.
Yes, 100%. Like I say, in the interest of your business, you're very good at what you do.
Thank you.
Which is why I use you. That was just a funny story.
Faux pas. Is this
faux pas. And like I say, when I'm on honeymoon, and like we had very little contact with the business while we were on honeymoon, but I did have to have one conversation. And it's actually with my brother-in-law, and he's like, have you spoke to your mate yet? And I'm like, which one? I'm on honeymoon, I've spoken to no one. And he's just like, you plumber, mate? I was like, no. I went, you might want to, he's not very happy. And then I was like, why, what's happened? He went, the pipe again. I went, no. Even I was like, it can't again. Oh, my days. So that's why it's called the Sieve. That's
to be honest, I think it was quite good how we formed. It probably built the friendship on the fact that you annihilated me for 3 weeks with it.
Longer.
Maybe.
Like, you came in for a meal the last time and I wrote Checker Trade on the plate for you. Your cheese board, because I've had quite a bit of fun with Brother Jennings' meals as things have gone on, and our friendship has blossomed to the point where I've got little cutters, penis-shaped cutters, and I cut his bread into little penis shapes so he can dip it into stuff. I draw penises on plates whenever he eats. It's all very mature, obviously. And then once he came in for a meal and ordered a cheese board, it was, you're not going to do anything with that, are you? And I cut the cheese into penis shapes and wrote Checker Trade on the board.
It was interesting. I took my mum out for a meal as well, hadn't I?
Yeah.
And I think the starter was it focaccia?
Focaccia, yeah.
Which is, what's it called? What's the my obsession with that?
So it's focaccia with labna, which is the strange yogurt, and dukkha, which is the spice.
Right, if ever we do release where the pubs are, you'll have to go and try this, everybody. It is the best. Food there is stunning. However, this starter, I took my mum to have a meal, so there was mobility in my mum, and obviously Brother Harris over here had got wind that I was coming in, so brought himself a penis cutter, so my bread came out, which is the focaccia, in the shape of a penis, and my mum loves all food. She's really funny. She'd put food down. You could feed her shit with sugar on, and she'd go, "Oh, that's lovely." That's just her thing. But she looked at the plate. She went, "Oh, that looks really good." And I went, "Just look again, Mum." And she went, "Ooh." So it's quite hard to explain. In fact, the guy who brought it over, the waiter, is that the word, waiter?
Yeah.
Yeah. When he brought it over, he put it on the table and he said, "This has nothing to do with me."
Yeah, when I gave it him, I'm like, take that to the big guy in the corner. It's the big guy, only the big guy. Give it to no one else. Do not pass go. And he's like, Are you joking? Oh, no. He's like looking at me as the boss, thinking like, is this a wind up?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
Is this a test?
You're taking the penis bread and you're taking it's that big guy that will rip your arm out of its socket and beat you with a soggy end if you get this wrong. So off we went. And,
I didn't expect it. It caught me off guard. I'll be the first to admit.
Good fun, innit?
It was good, but it was good. So yeah, that's how the Sieve came about, and that's, to be fair, how this sort of friendship of abusing each other came about.
Yeah, and obviously voice notes and mental health support for each other.
Do you know what? I mean, we keep going on about this. We need to get the guest in. We're going to talk about mental health, but I think it's a good thing for men.
Yeah, to talk.
Talking is the thing, isn't it?
Talking. I believe we've had our first question.
Oh, we have, ladies and gentlemen.
So however you want to get that up, because we said we were going to do this, and we want more, man. People just get contact us on Instagram and emails. Do it, like give us stuff to talk about.
We said emails last time, but obviously that's old people thing, isn't it? Emails.
Yeah, or you can just message us direct on Instagram. Get us to talk about stuff. Ask us questions, whether it's agony on, or it could be how can I fix me bog, or have you got a recipe for I don't know, eggs Florentine or something?
Poached eggs. How do you do poached eggs?
How do you do your poached eggs? Whatever.
Yeah.
We could do a little hack segment. Whatever.
Are we naming the person?
It's your call. It's your contact.
I think it's nice.
I think I think so.
I won't give him his phone number. He's given me his phone number as well.
Oh,
yeah,
so.
we won't read that out.
No, better not.
Anyway, guys, enjoyed the podcast. Looking forward to future instalments. So the question is, are you ready?
Yep.
You grant yourself a superpower. What is it, and how would you use it?
Oh, that's a question, isn't it? Do you want to go first, or am I going first?
No, see, you're into your superheroes. I reckn you.
I am into my superheroes through my boy. I'm into me Marvel.
Yeah.
Do you like me Marvel? Trying to think. But my favourite Marvel characters haven't got. Well, I say they haven't got massive amounts of special powers. Thor is my favourite.
Yeah.
God. Man of God. He's not a man of God, is he?
He is.
I mean, I would.
Man crush.
Chris Hemsworth, ultimate man crush. I'm allowed. Like, he came into a room and said, "Would you?" I'd be like, "Yeah."
Yeah, but he'd have to come on the podcast first, wouldn't he?
Yeah, you'd have to do an interview on the podcast first.
That would be the clause.
We wouldn't do that live. No.
Oh, Jesus.
What would my special power be? You have like all the the normal stock ones like invisibility. I think to fly would be quite cool. I think having the ability to fly would be quite cool, quite handy in what we do. Like I charge from pub to pub, just fly over the hill, wouldn't
I?
Yeah. Be easy.
Flying
would be quite cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would my superpower be? That's a good question. Andrew Stamps.
Andrew Stamps, thank you for the question.
Thank you for your question.
We're proving that we're not very good at answering questions here.
Yeah. It's sort of like there's a lot of silence going there. So yours would be flying.
I think flying, yeah. I think flying would... I mean, it's quite a boring answer in the sense it's probably like the best for my current situation.
Yeah. In between work.
Yeah, flying in between work. But also it'd be quite handy when you want to go on holiday, innit?
Yeah. I'd like to have a superpower. I'd like to have like supersonic hearing.
Okay.
Right? So you could be... but you wouldn't hear everybody's conversation. Right? Yeah. So you're just having a chat, we're all in the pub, having a beer, chewing the fat, eating your scratchings, whatever, your pig snacks, your crisps, right?
Your pig snacks.
But then, over in the corner, you've got that couple who just glance at you because they're probably like upset that you've said something or maybe we've laughed too hard.
Yeah.
So as soon as you look at them, right, you can just hear what they're saying.
Yeah.
Super psych. Even if they're like 4 miles away.
Or you've had a bit of beef with your mate Sydney, and like Sydney's like across the other side of the bar talking to Gav.
Yeah.
Big Gav's like getting his ear bent by Sydney.
Yeah.
And like you're like, I want to know what Sydney's saying about me.
Yeah. That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
something like you'd have to be prepared for this.
And then I could fly over and be like, what's your issue, Gav?
Yeah. Like,
no, because that's not my style.
Not violence.
No, I don't do violence.
So that would be like Carl Pilkington when he had Bullshit Man. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
His superpower. Yeah. So he said he flew all over the world because if anyone was in a meeting, they would say, no, yeah, if you buy all these shares, you'll make $6 million. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit Man was the thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, man.
But I reckon supersonic hearing.
Okay, and I'm flying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got speech. We've got
Speech.
We've got to speech. Yeah. And we've got hearing, and we've got flight. That's quite a good question. That
was a very good question.
That's a hard question. That is.
It is, because like you don't want to limit yourself.
Yeah.
By having something rubbish. Like, I know, say a question like, is flying just a bit basic bitch? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because like Thor is a great example, has mad power, and he uses his hammer to fly. He uses the old hammer.
Do you remember Back to the Future? Was it now 2025?
You're a big Back to the Future nut, aren't you?
God, I am.
Like, is yours, if you go on that game show on TV, what's your specialist subject, Back to the Future, would you be strong enough to go and do that?
Yeah.
Nerd.
I would.
Nerd.
I actually I got brought up for my 40th by mobility. I actually went to the show, the Back to the Future show.
That sounds cool.
It was epic. So yeah, if you've got questions about what superpower yours would be, send us in.
Yeah.
We'd want to hear what your superpowers would be.
Yeah, I reckon I want to hear because I reckon there's some people are going to come out with some mad, funny, witty stuff.
Yeah.
Probably some and we can discuss that. Well. Perverse.
Yeah.
I don't mind discussing perverse, as we proved at the start of this.
There is a limit. We've already talked about poo and stuff like that.
Yeah. So. Early doors. We're getting out of the way early doors.
But thank you again, everybody. And thank you, Brother Harris.
Thank you, Brother Jennings. That's another one done.
Yeah.
Another one done. And, maybe people are still listening. Or this could be the end.
This could be the end.
Or
it's just us two listening. But listen, everybody, we do appreciate you listening, and we do appreciate you taking
all the support.
Thank you so much.
And next time we'll be able to discuss the merch.
Yeah,
we're going to have merch.
We're going to have merch.
And
if we see someone with merch on, that'll be class.
Yeah, won't it?
But we've got loads of stuff coming up we want to do. Obviously, it's all dependent. If you like it, send us your questions, send us your queries, and obviously, we just want to hear from you. So
100%.
Get going. And thanks again.
Thank you very much. BOSH.
BOSH.
It's goodbye from him.
And it's goodbye from him.
Bye.
Bye.
Brother Jennings.
Brother Harris.
You're right.
Let's talk about the Pipes and Pints podcast.
Yeah, so I'm the chef.
And I'm the plumber. And the music you heard in the intro were the Masses.
Yeah.
And they have kindly allowed us to use their music, which is fabulous.
Yeah.
Go and check them out on Spotify. Absolute superb music. Give them a like, give them a follow.
Localish kind of band as well.
Yeah, Birmingham based, so good set of boys. What you're about to hear next is literally the pilot episode of the podcast that's coming forward. So we hope you enjoy.
Yeah, it's about 10 minutes long of a bit of waffle. To give people a bit of an idea of what we're going to do. And then there'll be more episodes following shortly.
Go and enjoy.
Enjoy. BOSH.
BOSH.